Hello everybody. Hope all of you are fine. Today we will solve one very interesting maths. Solve quadratic inequalities. Question 1. Find the set of values of x for which x square minus 4x minus 5 less than 0 and draw a sketch to show this. Okay. We have to find out the set of values of x. For starting this maths, I try to show you something. When a curve is U-shaped and when a curve is cap-shaped. Think like ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. X square coefficient, when x square coefficient is positive, like a greater than 0, the curve will be U-shaped. But if x square coefficient a less than 0, the curve will be cap-shaped. Like x square minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. Here you see that x square coefficient is positive, that means plus 1. So definitely when we sketch this curve, the curve shape will be U shape. But if this equation is like this, minus x square minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0, as x square coefficient is negative, the curve will be cap shape. We have to remember these things. If like this is a number line, if I mention x greater than 2, like this is 2, this is 3, this is 1, x greater than 2 means it indicate from x it is the right side, all these elements. X greater than 2 means from 2 we have to proceed in the right side. But if I say x less than 1, it means that from 1 we are indicating all these elements from one left side. Another thing, y greater than 0, that is y positive. This is, if we draw a curve, like this is the curve, y positive means above the x-axis, which part of the curve we have, this part is the positive. Like this part is positive, this part is positive. Y means this curve. So above the x-axis, which part of this curve we have, this part is positive. But if I say that curve is negative, like y less than 0, okay, if we sketch this curve, like this is the curve, y less than 0 means it's indicate the below side of x-axis, this part is y less than 0. We have to remember these things. Again, I say y greater than 0. Like this is the curve, this part is above the x-axis, this is y greater than 0, this part is y greater than 0. If the curve is U-shaped, but below the x-axis, this is y less than 0. That means this part is negative. But if the curve is cap-shaped, if the curve is cap-shaped, like this is the curve, okay. So in this curve, if I say y positive, obviously this is this part. This part is y positive because above the x-axis, this region is above the x-axis of this curve. But if we indicate y less than 0 from this curve, this part is less than 0, this part is less than 0. So we have a very good idea about this region. Okay. Find out the set of values of x. At first, we will solve this equation, x square minus 4x minus 5 equals to 0. Factorize this. So x square minus 5x plus x minus 5 equals to 0. Take x common, x minus 5 plus 1, x minus 5 equals to 0. So x minus 5, x plus 1 equals to 0. So what will you get? X minus 5 equals to 0 or x plus 1 equals to 0. So x equals to 5 or x equals to minus 1. Now we have to sketch this curve. Obviously, this curve is U-shaped because x square coefficient is positive here. This curve passes through -1 and 5. Okay, what do you want? X square minus 4x minus 5 less than 0. That means x square minus 4x minus 5 less than 0 means y less than 0. Y less than 0. So which part? This is x-axis. Below the x-axis, this part is y less than 0. This part is negative. This part is less than 0. Now we have to find out the uh, required set of values is values of x is from x minus 1 to 5. The curve is negative. So the required set of values is -1, x greater than -1, less than 5. Observe, from x value -1 to x value 5, within this region, the curve is less than 0, that means negative. Okay. So another question we try to solve. Okay. Another question, find the set of values of x for which 3 minus 5x minus 2x square less than 0, and draw a sketch to show this. So at first we will solve this equation, 3 minus 5x minus 2x square equals to 0. If we multiply both sides by minus, so it will be plus 2x square plus 5x minus 3 equals to 0. After that, do factorization, 2x square plus 6x minus x minus 3 equals to 0. Now take 2x common, so x plus 3. Take -1 common, so x plus 3 equals to 0. So x plus 3 and 2x minus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, x plus 3 equals to 0, or 2x minus 1 equals to 0. So from here, we'll get x equals to -3 or x equals to half. Okay, now our second duty, we have to sketch this curve. Obviously, the curve is cap shape because here x square coefficient is negative. So curve passes through -3 and half. So it will be, this is the curve. So the curve, that means 3 minus 5x minus 2x square less than 0. That means y less than 0. We said in the beginning of our lecture that below the x-axis, which part of the curve, which region lies, that part is the less than 0. That means this part is above the level, below the x-axis, so this part is negative. Why negative over there? Here the curve is less than 0, that means below the x-axis, this part is negative. Now we will find for what values of x the curve, this region is negative. You see, from x less than -3, the curve is less than 0. And when x greater than half, the region is less than 0. So we have to write, so the required set of values is x less than -3. Remember, x less than -3, that means when x proceed from -3 to infinity, the curve is less than 0. Or because this is discontinuous, the middle part we don't want, or x greater than half. That means from for x greater than half, if it's proceed in the right side, the region is, the curve is negative. So I think everybody understand this, man. This is very interesting. You try to observe the region. Remember, above the x-axis, the curve, which part lies, that part is positive, and below the x-axis, which part lies, that part is negative. And we want to find out for what values of x the region is positive or region is negative. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all.